Welcome everybody to another day of Dota here. It's the Eastern European DPC as we get ourselves back into Div 1, and we're at day 6 here, Waga, but some teams, they're already halfway through their season, and some teams, like VP, have only played a series or two.
Yeah, exactly. VP, and then you have Spirit later. They haven't played at all yet. HYDRA, though, this is their 4th series, I believe, coming at them right now, going up against VP. I think it'll be interesting to see here, VP, how are they going to fare in this? They only played 1 game so far. They lost that one. That was against BO3, though, who are a strong team. I think that I expect VP to be the favorites here going up against HYDRA from what I've seen so far. HYDRA seem to have like components of what they need, but not the entire recipe. You know, like they kind of fall short here and there, whereas some of these teams are just looking a little bit stronger, and that's where I expect VP to be as well. Maybe not at the absolute top, but I think they should be still the favorite going into this.
Yeah, it's often felt like this Virtus.pro squad has had much more depth in their hero pool. Like, you know, HYDRA, it's kind of this perfect storm of, we get, like you said, these elements, right? These little bits and bobs here and there in the draft, in gameplay. Does this smoke gank 10 minutes in work out? If everything comes together, they can look, you know, as a solid squad for sure. I think VP just always has more outs and opportunities to, you know, steal away a win in a team fight, in a game, in a series. Let's say slightly ahead, maybe a step ahead of HYDRA, but we'll see how it does develop, as we should be quickly getting ourselves into game 1 of this best of 3 already. And like you alluded to, HYDRA heading into their 4th series, currently 1-2 in series wins, while VP, they lost their first series against BO3, but every series win matters. You've got to be trying to head towards that 3rd place spot. Because currently we've got 9 pandas and BO3 at the top, and we expect Spirit to be sniping the 3rd place slot, so you need to be grabbing wins to maybe weasel yourself into major position.
Yeah, definitely, and exactly like you said, every single game matters. These DPC series, everything is important, not just for the major placements, but there's quite a bit of money just in the DPC in itself, and you know, every win that you can get, you should get. So we'll see exactly what's going to be the approach here for the teams. I've put a lot of emphasis on the drafts that we've seen. Certain series I've said are like decided almost entirely by draft, and that teams have to go back and like figure out how to cook something better. So let's analyze a bit what's going on here. We have VP versus HYDRA. HYDRA with the first pick. They ban out the Bloodseeker and the Techies. So first of all, the Bloodseeker just super good against a lot of the common offlaners right now, and they also ban out Techies, who's a pretty obnoxious +4 hero. And then they grab the Beastmaster. Of course, Doom and Medusa being removed. This is like the 2 top offlaners for me. Doom and Beastmaster are just insane. So HYDRA get a good start here, I would say. Yeah,
then we've seen this Magnus hero kind of pop in and out of priority. Is he something here that VP are going to be looking at as first phase material?
I like Magnus as a response to Beastmaster as a safe laner, to be honest. I don't like it so much on the offlane, but they're not going to go for that. They're going to go with the TB straight up first pick reveal, which is a good matchup as well against the Beastmaster. Generally, you know, Beastmaster is a very single targeted hero and doesn't do too well against the illusions. You can spam Wild Axes in the lane though, so if you get some nice magic damage combination here with the Beastmaster, maybe you can put some pressure onto the TB. But there's the babysitting, of course, Undying.
Yeah, we've seen these like Crystal Maiden CK lanes, these Undying TB lanes. I mean, you know, it's just Undying himself, right? We can look back at other patches. The Undying Lina was super strong prior to and during the Lina Major, and it's just no different. He sits in front of your carry. He makes sure that he's 1v2 pressuring the enemy and giving that free farm along to the TB. Now, is there a position 4 here that can go with the Beastmaster that negates the power of the Undying? Like we used to see Snapfire as one of these heroes that could maybe contend with him.
It can be okay. I think generally the best you can do is try to get some nice range hero with good magic damage still to pair up. Personally, I wouldn't be against something like Mirana here. Plays nicely later on with the Beastmaster Hawk as well, and you get some ranged auto attacks. And apparently HYDRA agree. They're also gonna go for the Mirana here. She does well against Undying, doesn't really get auto attack that much. You can always back away and then get those right clicks in. And Beastmaster or Undying becomes a little bit flailing to try and reach something. So he will try and go on Beastmaster, but when he does, Mirana can step in and protect a bit.
So, what's the reason they go for Mirana over like a Skywrath Mage, which is another position for magic damage dealer we've seen picked up against these kind of TB Undying heroes?
I think it's fine to run Skywrath as well. It would definitely be another option here, but this just gives them a little bit more control with the vision game, I would say. You have the Invis now from Moonlight Shadow as well. You have vision advantage from the Hawk. The Arrow can provide vision as well. This is just a different approach, and you do make sure that you don't run low on disables, because if you pick the Skywrath, you end up having only the Beastmaster Roar from the offlane for disable. Now at least Mirana can pair up with anything. So there are advantages and disadvantages to both. Also, Skywrath can quickly become food to Terrorblade down the road when he has no armor at all, no mobility, and just dies to a few auto attacks in meta. Whereas Mirana can always dodge that. She can leap away, she can reposition, and Starfall does provide some AoE burst for clearing out those illusions.
Yeah, I mean, lots of good points. Great understanding what's going on. I was thinking, hey, TB likes to play around catapult waves, you know, there's also this hidden advantage of Mirana being able to kill catapults and maybe slow down TB's push if things snowball a little bit in these lanes.
I mean, it's not unheard of that a TB pushes and takes tier 1 tower very early, even on the enemy off lane, where Mirana can protect a little bit against that. It's true. Hopefully it doesn't go to that point though. You know, that's like a safety net, but you don't really want to be in that position where that matters.
Like, oh god, the TV's pushing our tower. That's not meant to be happening. Yeah, Kotl gone. We've seen this Chakra Metamorphosis be incredibly strong. Batrider and Slark being removed out. Does that indicate anything to you, or is just Slark decent against TB in mid game?
It's probably signaling a little bit what they want to do here. Starting out with the Slark ban, probably gonna go for some like Ursa Monkey King ban, Bloodseeker already being removed. It opens up a little bit the door to some heroes that provide AoE control, perhaps. Like you can even go Underlord. I'm not a fan of the hero myself, but he can be good against Beastmaster and Mirana. So kind of shielding their offlane pick a bit here by starting to get rid of those pesky melee heroes. Because this is not for TB, right? The Slark, TB doesn't mind it at all. He would happily play against that. Not really a hero that scares your carry, so this is definitely shielding for the offlane pick.
We'll see what they had. One more ban from VP. If they do get rid of this Ursa or Monkey King or something like that to try and protect the offlane. And previously, they've played a whole bunch of stuff. The Darkseers, the DKs, the Primal Beasts, Tide Hunters. Very open in the offlane to pick whatever they want.
They're very capable. They can play many different styles. So just the Slark ban doesn't necessarily tell too much. It could just also be that they don't like playing against that hero. It could be as simple as that. And we see the Pugna Undying here. Okay, coming in with even more push. Now, if you drop Tombstone, Netherward, and Meta, then that's difficult to defend. So if they get to group up and push towards the tower, they will have a very scary siege.
10 seconds remaining.
I think the downside with their lineup, though, is that they have absolutely 0 stuns right now. And HYDRA should be keeping an eye on Spirit heroes or like heroes that just rely on spellcasting here, because there's no control.
I mean, snap picks there. Silencer and Void Spirit, so you've got the nice umbrella of protection for Void Spirit to jump in and out, not get caught by anything if, you know, some disables are picked up here by VP. Very quick though from VP here off the mark if they get out of these lanes, right? You mentioned this ability just to push towers. If they're able to get out of lanes and just storm down them, tier 1s could drop very quickly. And honestly, this is one of my favorite kinds of drafts where you're just dropping shit on the floor. Throw a Tombstone down, put a Netherward down, give me a Phoenix, you know, give me some Shadow Shaman, get all this stuff just on the floor that you're going to try and walk past. It can make fights very convoluted and chaotic.
Yeah, it becomes extremely complicated because usually it's like, oh, if we're fighting under Tombstone, we have to kill it. But if you're fighting on Netherworld, you have to kill that too. And if you're focusing these, you know, secondary things, then you're not killing heroes and you're going to lose the fight just because of that. So it's very tricky, very positional. How are you going to play against that? And the placement of the Tombstone and Pugna Ward are very important in this game. So I like what HYDRA have in grabbing the Void Spirit and already having the Mirana. They have some heroes from mobility. Mobility is very good to prevent this. You know, the issue of area control from Tombstone and Pugna Ward. So they grab up their own Storm Spirit here. Virtus.pro getting themselves a little bit of lockdown, but it's a Storm picked into Silencer, and there's a Beastmaster, so there are good lockdowns still available, but they needed some form of catch and initiation.
Yeah, kind of backed into a corner, right? Like, that's why the Silencer pick is so good there, just covering against all of these slippery heroes that I think it's a very obvious VP needed, whether it is a Spirit or a Puck or any of these kind of active heroes that play make. Going into this last phase, we're still looking for our carry for HYDRA and the offlaner for VP. I feel like it's not often we get these offlaners last picked, and when they are last picked, it's just like, the Tidehunter!
Yeah, I mean, waiting as long as possible, and then what are you gonna get? I mean, at least they have more knowledge now that there's a Void Spirit, so whatever offlane they pick probably should provide a little bit more catch. They could go for, even as you said there, like, it could be a random Tidehunter just to go with the 5-man idea more, because, again, they have that meta Tombstone Pugna Ward combo, then leaning into team fighting and having a really strong Death Ball type lineup is possible. I would like to see them get something that is providing a bit of lockdown and still active for fighting, though.
Like a Spirit Breaker. Give me the offlane Spirit Breaker.
Yeah.
Charge around, catch people.
I am a fan of that. That would actually be a nice hero in addition to their lineup here. Could easily follow up with the Storm Spirit or set up for Storm Spirit by charging in and then Storm falls up. They ban out the Underlord again, something that we mentioned. It's a good hero against HYDRA's lineup already with the Beastmaster and Mirana revealed, and with Void Spirit it amplifies that even more because it's very hard for Void Spirit against Pit of Malice. If he jumps into that, gets rooted, he's in trouble. So they get rid of the Underlord. Remaining. Also would have made the 5-manning even stronger from VP here.
5 seconds remaining.
And now starting to cover the TB a bit. Good Morphling ban. Anything else you're super worried about?
Radiant team pick.
Apparently they removed the Naga.
Okay.
I would agree, because that's one way to deal with the entities, right? You sleep and then you kill off the Tombstone and the Pugna Ward during it. It's actually used to be a way to play when Undying and Pugna were really popular way back in the day. People picked like support Naga just to do that. The song and clear the issues. So could have been a good carry for them. Also a decent matchup against TB. Naga isn't bad in that matchup at all.
Do we still have the Tombstone decrep possibility?
I think it's back. I think it used to work, then didn't used to work, and I think now it does work as far as I know. But I haven't tested a mechanic. I can test after this game if they don't do it, but I assume if it does work, they're gonna be probably abusing it in this game. It's a very strong thing where you decrep the Tombstone when it's about to die, and the enemy have overcommitted for it.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you've got Beastmaster, Mirana, lots of attack speed, some ranged heroes, ranged supports in the Silencer as well. Yeah, keep that Tombstone alive, try and fight around it. Last pick, PL. Oh, the old school PL TB matchup.
Yeah, so that's again a really tough matchup for Terrorblade for many reasons. He can dispel the reflection, he can run in and just burn all his mana, and of course, if you can't have any mana on TB, you become a lot easier to deal with when he doesn't keep spawning more illusions, doesn't have a chance to sunder, doesn't have more reflections coming out. Have even seen TBs die in the past to just not having mana to BKB against PLs. Trying to go for a BKB TP out and realizing, wait, it's all gone.
I can't do anything.
Also, PL is great against Undying. One of the heroes that actually does pretty well. Because again, fast at clearing that Tombstone really quick. So if Pugna can decrep it, that would be really big for him in this game.
Yeah, then you also have this kind of weird back and forth with Storm. Like, yes, PL's going to be burning mana, but Storm is going to be able to find the real one, get the Vortex, maybe even Ag's Vortex later on down the line. So you're going to have this battle between the two of them. What do we do? Timbersaw. So a bit of illusion clear.
Yeah.
Still playing into Raw and Global.
They get that Timbersaw, but Timbersaw against Silencer is tricky. And they only have one single disable here on VP. They really have to know what they're doing because their lineup looks way harder to execute. They do have strengths. We highlighted their push potential. Their 5-man is good. But HYDRA, their lineup just looks way easier to play. If you scale this game up into the mid game, I think I would much rather be in their shoes. So draft-wise, I don't think that HYDRA have slipped up here. I think this is a great reaction to what VP are doing, while also building a very nice lineup for themselves.
Yeah, I'm still looking back to that second phase. The almost instant Silencer Void Spirit picks really set themselves up for success here, it feels like, as we'll moving towards game number 1. I mean, VP a lot on their plate to try and deal with, but it's got to be said, Pugna and Undying, 2 of the strongest laning supports to bully your opponents and safeguard your own cause. So the potential is here for them to have a bit of a snowball, shift into mid for early catapult waves to try and push that and open the map for them. If they can play on the enemy side of the map, that's probably where they want to be as 4 heroes guarding the Terrorblade to get him to his point. HYDRA, they've got to try and take every one of these early fights to make sure they don't lose traction on the map, right?
Yeah, I agree. HYDRA, I mean, meanwhile, they have pretty decent lane support and Silencer as well, and Mirana, I think, has a good matchup here against the Undying. I think it's a smart lane, so while VP have good laning supports, HYDRA is still competitive there, and if they can get a decent, like, 50-50 in the laning stage for HYDRA, then they will be in a great spot to transition into that mid game, whereas for VP, I think so much pressure is on the Storm Spirit and how he plays in this game. If he has a bad game, I mean, how the entire lineup crumbles. SquadX has to do well here.
We'll see if they can set him up for some success. A quick video from EGB, though, before we get into game number 1.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system. Welcome bonus up to $600, cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
And off we pop. Game 1 of this best of 3. Bit of throat singing coming out from Noticed with that voice line. And odds up on the screen, pretty close between these 2. We'll see how things go. Like you said, VP probably favored slightly. But with this draft, are you actually leaning more towards HYDRA?
Yeah, I'm definitely favoring HYDRA here in this matchup. In terms of just drafts, like, I think they've done a great job setting themselves up. This is not a bad place to be, but we'll see how the lane's going to play out. If there's maybe shenanigans, maybe you use the portal, make some ganks rotations, because I think in a fair play out of the lanes, then I think HYDRA should be pretty happy here.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we've often seen in the past, you're against Terrorblade and you set up the tri lane to go up against him, kill him in that first metamorphosis.
Did you see this mind game happening?
The PL and the Storm, yeah.
Yeah, so PL is scouting if there's a ward so they can deward, but Storm drops a remnant, providing vision so that the tower shoots the PL so he thinks there's a ward. So he's pinging, I was attacked here, I was attacked here. That was Storm standing behind, dropping a remnant. It's a real 5-head play right there.
That's really cool. Yeah, I was watching it and not quite understanding it. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
Take us through the motions of it.
Nice heads up play by SquadX there, because he saw the PL walk around at first. As he walked actually, it's a little bit on Kami as well. He walked just a little bit close to a tower and got 1 auto attack by being too close and actually being in vision. Otherwise, then Storm wouldn't know that he's there, so then he wouldn't be shooting.
Yeah, Dire with only 1 ward outright, the one up near Radiant Ancients. Not sure where their other one is, but...
No, they put one mid as well, deep.
Oh, right, it's under a range creep, can't even see it. And up at top lane, Lil and Cloud, it's Beastmaster Mirana. Already starting to get bullied a little bit by FNG. And Wave pushing into the TB under his tower. Takes a lot of damage from the Starstorm. This level 1 Starstorm build, very, very popular the past year or so. Just chip away at your enemies.
Yeah, this is where we see the power of Mirana plus Beastmaster, or any form of combination with Beastmaster that has a lot of magic damage. It's just you spam nukes, and Terrorblade, his high armor is not going to help protect him against this.
Now we can already see them both buying magic sticks, right? Early sticks for TB and the Undying, make sure they can try and sustain through that magic burst. And it looks like Radiant, they've managed to reclaim large camp, stopping any nonsense from the Undying in that small camp. And down at bottom, yeah, just chill time, really.
Yeah.
The PL and Silence are not getting bullied too hard.
Yeah, I mean, Pugna is doing a good job kind of keeping Happy Jirara against, or keeping him off Timbersaw here, because Timber doesn't enjoy being harassed by a Silencer. But that leaves kind of PL versus Timber in a 1v1, and PL is gonna get some farm, but Timber is also happily getting his level progression. Not gonna be what we've seen before, some Timbers with Vanguard minute 9 or something. This is gonna be a better laning stage than that.
Yeah, definitely should be. I mean, yeah, Sayosh even kind of allowing Silencer to get a half pull off so they can make this additional lane in the jungle. Keep him off the tail, I've noticed, and some good damage there from Nether Blast as first blood is Kiritich taking down the Mirana.
Yeah, he got a little bit too close there. It doesn't have leap yet, of course, with the QW scale build and the blood grenade from FNG on his Undying. Kept him close enough. TB came in with the reflection to get the kill.
A big old TB. 1-1-1. What kind of game is this for the Terrorblade? Are we still maxing out Conjure Image to try and farm yourself up in the jungle?
I think so, yeah. I think this is definitely a lane where you will do fine enough without getting more points in meta. And maxing Conjure Image as early as possible should always be the goal for Terrorblades.
Yeah, I guess you pick the Undying to allow yourself to do that, right? If you go the other way, you're doubling down or even tripling down on
Yes.
lane dominance. Not too necessary.
Yeah, I agree.
Where is that Pugna now? Oh, he went to get Bounty Rune. So he leaves Timbersaw alone for a little bit. It seems like Happy is a little lost. Not sure where he needs to be. Trying to pull and make things happen, but Pugna always going to be trading hits with him and making it difficult for the Silencer.
We got it though. Got a half pull at least, and gonna get the last hit as well. Pugna
Maybe a
now
kill.
That's the TP out.
Yeah, good TP. A severe lack of stuns in this game.
Yeah. So let's talk about mid lane a little bit, because we have barely mentioned anything about it. But mids for now, 20-4 on the Storm Spirit and 14-3 over on the Void. So both doing pretty well in terms of CSing. Storm had a very good start in the early laning stage here. First few creep waves were heavily going his favor, but Void Spirit, he does have that 5.5 damage per level up. So he is starting to get his base damage up to where he can more comfortably last it.
Start recuperating the losses a little bit. And we'll get himself a water rune as well. As Happy steals the one bottom, so no refill for the Storm. And it's like, FNG, go die. I want a bottle refill. Where's my support? I was looking at the CS values. You know, TB 2710, top 3 heroes all dire. Beastmaster is having a really sad time. That one Lil death, did that hurt him that much?
It's not so much about the Lil's death, it's just Undying is still doing a great job here. FNG has been playing so aggressively, taking the focus. He is gonna die here, but this is what sometimes happens when you play Undying. It's fine if you happen to go down once or twice as soon as the enemy is not farming. If you can keep them off the creep wave, and that's what's happened. Every time that they walk up, look at Beastmaster, just taking so much damage here. He might actually die to Terrorblade.
Yeah, he's dead, and I mean, Lil's trying to TP mid to catch out Squadix. Arrow lands. He's got 11-1 charges, pops it all, turns to fight. Void Spirit's got to get out of here. They drop the tombstone, and FNG charging forward towards this Void Spirit. He's still level 5, so he's just slapped down by a decay. That was meant to be a Hydra coming in and killing Storm, and VP turn it on its head.
Some fantastic value there. That's a good timing for your Undying to be, looking for where to TP. Comes mid, helps out the Storm, puts him in a great spot now of getting level 6 before the Void Spirit, and gonna be able to go and get himself a Bounty Rune if he wants as well with this time that he has on his hands now.
Yeah, and it's another one of these kind of domino effects where FNG, with his lane dominance, was able to grab one of the Lotuses, and I'm pretty sure he gave it to Storm there to heal him up alongside the 12-1 charges. So it popped him up to like 60% HP from almost 0. Of course, you add in raindrops and all that good stuff. It could have been much closer without that Undying having such a great time in the first 5 minutes.
Undying sticking around as well. They're realizing Void Spirit is not level 6 yet, and that's a good power spike to play around. So he's in danger here.
Yeah, I mean, Storm is silenced up for now, but Happy just going to get taken down with a Vortex. Follow through from FNG, maybe even a career snipe, but Happy's going to try and deny himself to neutrals. Not successful, sadly. Well, down at bottom, Timbersaw's going for a solo kill. Kami pretty much dead, honestly. Sayosh throws the blood grenade and Notice finishes him off.
Did you see the play? He dropped the Iron Branch in front of the PL to then Timber Chain to it. That was a really nice play, actually.
Great stuff. A 3k lead already for them. Things looking very sad for Hydra already. Early days in game 1. FNG's even wrapping around in that top lane. Oh, he's going to go steal the Wisdom Rune, isn't he? It's almost 7 minutes. Important timings.
Yeah, you gotta
Mirana
play for it.
Beastmaster. What are you up to? Stacking Ancients?
He can arrow though, but the Tombstone zombies, maybe they block it.
Oh,
They did.
FNG gets it. Oh my god.
Actually, a Tombstone zombie ate the arrow. Because I thought Mirana is surely gonna get this, right? She can just stun, but no.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
150 gold for them, and FNG probably going to die here to Warwick's rotation. Very happy with the way things are going, because they've killed... Like, FNG's making so much space. 3 heroes to tail the Undying. He already stole your Wisdom Rune, and your PL dies bottom.
I mean, PL cannot stand alone against this Timbersaw. There's no way. You can't leave him unattended. And sure, the runes are important, but if you leave with both the supports like that, what is PL to do? He can't really jungle that fast yet because he doesn't have ulti. And if he stays against Chakram, he just dies. There's no way you can lane against the level 7 now. Timbersaw as level 5.
Oh, I
top?
thought... Yeah. Yeah, I thought the last hit values were bad enough. We've switched to net worth now, and Terrorblade is 5,000 net worth 8 minutes in. Kiritich is monstrous.
He has more CS than the next 2 in line for the enemy team. Like, the 2 highest, Void Spirit plus PL, are still not close enough. Actually, he almost has the same CS as all 3 cores combined of Radiant.
Oh
This is
God.
absurd. I haven't seen such a CS domination in a long time, actually.
Kiritich saw Arteezy's Medusa last night, and he's like, "Oh yeah, all right then. Let's try and get this massive net worth advantage as quick as I can. Let's break some records, shall we?"
Yeah.
Radiant's
going
bottom
for
tower is
Early
under
Eye of
attack.
Skadi as well, it
Radiant's
seems.
bottom
As that
tower
Dragon
has
lands.
fallen.
So what's the plan for PL now? Is it still try and follow that normal algorithm as you would usually do, Diffusal Manta, or is there a way to change your item build? Because PL often feels like he's waiting for that Diffusal Manta heart timing, which won't come for another 20 minutes.
PL is nothing right now. He's 2.3k net worth. He's so far behind. It's just going to be going in for the power treads. I would probably go for a Yasha next to try and get Manta style in a decent timing at least. But he could go Diffus still. It doesn't really matter what he does. He's just going to sit jungle and farm. Right now, it's on his team to try and like carry this game. And look top, that rotation.
Yeah, coming in behind Cloud. Squad X and Sayers. I should be able to bring him down pretty simply here. Helped out by FNG a little bit. Storm Spirit, 2 kills to his name. Trance Falcon Blade, looking great. And Storm, a hero that you said at the end of the draft. Someone who needs to be active, creating these plays, making things happen. We're seeing that so far. Who is that on HYDRA side? Is it Void Spirit? Or just looking at literally Silence the Beastmaster, Mirana, Void Spirit have to go and do shit?
Yes, it's a 4-man combination. They need to like all activate and start exerting pressure so that PL has space. And they're going to try and do that mid now.
Yeah, bring a few numbers here. Arrow's going to slide on by. And 10-minute rune about to spawn. Down bottom illusion rune. The Storm can go grab that up. But now you've brought 4 heroes mid as the Radiant team. You're kind of realizing there's no fight to be had. We've given a lot of space to this Timbersaw to push out bottom. And VP still very comfortable farming in the top little nooks and crannies. The Terrorblade's finding some neutral creeps. VP just keeping them entertained in the mid lane. Oh, hey,
Yeah.
look over here.
Complicated situation, right? Because they can't split up too much. They need to go together and try and do something. Otherwise, they're just kind of losing out the lanes right now. But I don't know. They need to be more decisive. Perhaps if they find Mirana level 6, get the ulti to initiate, they can find those ganks. Or just smoke up and go for something. They seem a little bit indecisive in their moves.
Yeah, I mean, Kami probably going to die again. Has already spent his doppelganger. And noticed with the support backup. Straight under that tier 2 tower. Squadix is even joining the forces down here as well. If they catch a glimpse of Happy, this level 4 silencer isn't long for this world.
He really isn't. And this is also the push power that we were talking about. Dropping the tombstone, dropping the netherward, and then just sieging up a tower. Squadix?
Yeah, does get caught out by the Ether Remnant. Plenty of mana to zip away, but the arrow's
the arrow.
there. Oh! Trying to pop the illusion rune inside that life drain, still dies. Big pick off for HYDRA and a, I don't know, sloppy mistake from the Storm. Very, very over-aggressive.
Yeah, that could have been anything in Fog War there. That was an arrow in this case, but that could also have been just Beastmaster standing behind in the Fog War and roaring him. He was just very greedy, out of position, and a little bit of a mistake there. It's a start of something, but right now we're looking at an 8,000 gold lead already for the side of VP. They need a lot more of these things to come back into the game.
It feels like a statement of intent from the Storm. Like, I'm happy to give away my life as long as my Timber and TB are farming. Or as long as my Timber is diving tower. Raindrops keeping Silencer alive on about 10 HP. Happy's back to Fountain, but he's like 2 XP away from level 5, and we're 12 minutes in already.
Yeah, and he's also got Lotus now on Timbersaw, so he can dispel the silence. I mean, we don't even have global silence yet at 12 minutes. He's level 4, but he's prepared for when it's going to be there.
And now they're rallying mid. Moonlight Shadow is there for Warwick.
Here.
And Lil. Here. Oh, so he is, yeah. The big boy arrives. Mr. 7.5 grand.
He's huge at this point. This is a massive TB. I don't know if they can stop him if he wants to get more here.
Trying to force the doppelganger. Kami. They're trying to hold it as long as possible to get to the low ground, but the real hero's stuck up on the high ground. That's not where you want to be. Dead for 30 seconds, and now your building's just crumbling to this TB metamorphosis.
Yeah, nobody wants to defend this. This is just going to be a tier 2 tower mid being removed early, and no way to stop it. This looks so dominant from VP right now.
Yeah, and FNG with his Pavis is putting on TB illusions, trying to bait people, just allow the illusion to tank the tower. Either way, they get the tier 2. And map feeling much, much smaller now for HYDRA. You can see Warwick kind of lurking around near that twin gate. He's got a bit of vision. A boar all alone is trying to push tier 1. The map is closing in around them. They're stuck in one of those trap rooms in Indiana Jones, right? Where the walls with the spikes on is getting smaller and smaller. How do we escape the trash compactor in Star Wars?
They're really getting pushed. The Ward Vision is also great here for Dire, taking deep control. And now playing for the Wisdom Rune, spawning in 10 seconds. So they're angling for it. Also leaving TB over on the other side. He can take their own.
And HYDRA smoking and moving into mid behind their PL. 9-1 odds now. Much more realistic as this game hits the 14th minute.
Yeah, this is looking so dominant. I mean, they're smoking and trying to find maybe TB, but they don't go deep enough to find him in the first place. And even if they did, I think the TP reactions would be in time.
As noticed, just popping his Lotus Orb. Perfectly safe. Kill off the last remaining dragon. Yeah, they need this pause. A bit of thinking time, yeah.
Yeah, think your way out of this one. Right now, they're just not able to find anything on the map. They're so underfarmed in every single core. If you look at the net worth on Radiant core heroes at this point, decent net worth you want to have at like 10 minutes. If all your cores had that at 10 minutes, that would be fine. That's 4.5 minutes ago. That's ages in Dota. You know, that's such a long time. And just look at Dire. They're getting so massive. Not just the core heroes, their supports are also ahead. It's just a massive lead right now from taking the tier 2 mid tower as well. More gold for the entire lineup.
Like a hero like TB, I'm trying to remember what the value was. You know, a couple of carry players have said, if you're a Terrorblade, 20 minutes in, you're aiming for like 13,000, 14,000 net worth. Is he going to get over that?
Oh, he should definitely be way over that in this game. And yeah, that's a pretty good like benchmark. I usually don't operate on like trying to reach certain goals. The only goals I look towards is like 10-minute farm, what you have there, or timings for items. But if you look at timings for items, the TB is flying ahead. He's already starting to work on his Skadi after having that Manta and Dragonlance complete at 15 minutes. He has 1,000 gold with it. This is going to be Roche as well, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, sprints over to the top left corner of the map, and Kiritich is there, already waiting for him. Kami is nearly at Diffusal Blade, so Terrorblade's going to have... Phantom Lancer is going to have his first item to try and contend with the VP. You can see the graphs there, just completely out of HYDRA's hands at this point. You're going to need some cataclysmic event of misfortune for VP to throw this one away.
Yeah, not entirely wrong as well. I mean, the TB will have that diffu as well if he reflects the PL, so yeah. It's not only a positive thing to get that diffu, but yeah, Kami is trying to get whatever he can in this game. He's just gone such a hard laning stage. Didn't expect the Silencer PL to be that much weaker than Timber and Pugna, but Pugna did a good job 1v1ing against Silencer, and then PL, of course, loses really hard to Timber.
Yeah. Oh, I've been meaning to ask you about this. Oh, hang on a second. They're jumping in. Storm has found the silencer. Happy doesn't even bother popping the global nose. He's dead to rights. I've been meaning to ask you about this Beastmaster. Helm of the Dominator is something I feel we see in like 10% of the games nowadays. Is there a plan or an idea behind this? Or has Cloud said, I'm so far behind, I need to just split push waves?
Oh, he's going for a roar on TB. Can they maybe burst him? He doesn't have Aegis.
Got a lot of control. Yeah, they've got the kill. And Warwick on a killing spree now. They even found FNG in the back.
Sloppy from VP kind of splitting up there and finally getting punishment here from HYDRA, who see a chance and take it. That's a lot of gold their way and experience. So to touch back on the Dominator, which he now will get level 2 Dominator a little bit faster as he got the lasted gold on the TB. Personally, I'm not a fan of it in the current patch. I think that like Drum Boots and Aghanims is super strong for Beastmaster. Aghanims is very nice against illusion carries like TB as well, because you heal so much. And honestly, the more you get dominated in laning stage, the worse the summon from the Helm is going to be, because it hits at such a slow timing. So I'm not really a fan of its item build this game.
He's not too far off the Overlord. Usually Beastmaster is, with this Dominator build, is pushing enemy tier 1 pretty swiftly. 17.5 minutes in. 700 damage being done to that top tier 1. And TB's illusions providing a bit of cover there to stop that creep wave from arriving. While the rest of VP gathered up near the enemy ancients, warding up high ground and now playing towards the Terrorblade, who set up camp down south. Well, they're on the tier 2 already, and they're hemming back the Radiant in their base.
Yeah, we also see the Pugna value with Storm. The reason why we have seen a lot of teams ban out both Caudle and Pugna. It's just Storm is so strong with these heroes in combination, and some other heroes are as well. Like if you play Medusa, you can do the same thing there. So you could ask like, oh, why don't you just ban Storm if they're so good with Storm? Nah, Medusa and some other heroes as well can benefit similarly. But yeah, just value of having that walking fountain essentially, the Pugna. Look at him even healing up the Timber's mana.
That is so good. And I guess VP realizing after death of Squadix 10 minutes in, TB dying up top, just gather up as 5. Don't let ourselves be picked off as individual targets. If we group up, we are as strong as this death ball. Already pushing up high ground into tier 3.
Aghanims on Timbers on now.
Oh god. Yeah, here we go. Moonlight Shadow from HYDRA. They need to fight this to stop them from coming into their base, but the Tombstone providing a bit of a barrier. A Storm jumps straight on in. Lil and Happy nearly dead from that one jump, and Squadus clears through him. Happy's dead, so no silencer. He does have buyback and ulti. Still a struggle to see how they fight this. And PL Illusion's looking to clear out the Tombstone, but they can't even get that done. Arrow slides in between Squadix and noticed. Glyph expended already, and VP just aiming buildings.
They keep going. No sign of stopping. Storm, Aegis used.
Good jump from the Void Spirit. 1 kill claimed. Melee rack's gone though. That's the VP's signal to retreat. Go back and gather up all these waves of farm that are crashing in towards their side of the base. And of course, there's still Tormentors and Wisdom Runes in 2 minutes.
We get a DD rune on Storm as well, so the fact that he has vision right now of the PL farming, he probably wants to go over there and do some damage. You can see him on the Ancients. They have a nice ward. Instead, they're gonna go down bottom. Seems like they should want to take more fights here on side of VP.
I think FNG's saying, hey guys, objectives.
Yeah, take the Tormentor. I can see the support pinging and calling over his sheep, like, come here, follow me.
Yeah, boy.
I mean,
Tormentor
if they
time.
get Shard for Undying here, it's insane. It's so good to protect people against Beastmaster Roar. Whoever gets jumped, you can drop down the Tombstone and then pick someone up quickly. It essentially plays like you're suddenly imprisoning them.
Right, just bunker up the Storm. Bunker up the TV. It feels like a much better Phoenix Aghanims, right? Because you're not going to die like the one the Supernova does.
Yeah. Speaking of dying, Lil gets too close there, gets caught out. Storm with DD Rune and Witchblade makes short work of him.
And cutting straight across the map. He knows there's limited places for HYDRA to be. Kami's Phantom Lancer is up in the top little pocket there, just gathering up what neutral creeps he can. And Terrorblade's going to be able to push out that wave, and Storm Spirit going to find yet another target. Happy loses his hero and his courier.
Yeah, and Storm
Yeah,
has
he's
no
die
mana.
ward.
He's gonna walk over to his friend here. I think Pugna is about to fix him up.
Hey! Yeah,
Was
Arcane
that
Boots
full mana all
Perseverance.
of a sudden? Okay, nice.
Refill his battery.
Funny thing is, Pugna didn't even really take much damage from doing that. I don't know how he heals so much mana while losing barely any HP.
Yeah, usually we see this like Arcane Boots Ethelens kind of deal from Saves Pugna.
Radiant's
Yeah.
courier
This
has
time
I
around,
mean-
Arcane Boots Perseverance.
I kind of do know as well, I should say. It used to be that it was based on how much damage you took, but now you can go Glimmer Cape, and if you don't take damage on Pugna, that doesn't matter, you still heal. So previously you could like decrep yourself to heal more, but that was
Okay.
changed,
See.
which really buffed Pugna, because he doesn't need to take so much damage himself, and the Glimmer becomes really valuable. He could even activate Glimmer on himself and then heal, and then he takes no damage at all.
Yeah, just keep himself out on the map permanently. Oh, they're even stealing Radiant's Tormentor. So both supports going to get themselves shards. Oh, Squadex.
tower is under attack.
Squadex gets his.
Yeah, of course, it can tick up to the next player, so
Bottom
he's
tower
gonna be happy to get that. Of course, they already. Actually, how did he
Wait,
manage to
how?
get it?
Well,
Timber?
Storm would have been under Timber because the shard gives the money, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Jump, Warwick, slay Seush, immediate kill. They use the global, but yeah, the kill there on a stancer and a jump into base. Timbersaw with his Aghanim Scepter, untouchable. Void Spirit obliterated and with no buyback. They're in a 4v4 and a TB Matter is on their doorstep, wailing at buildings. They're trying
no.
to poke and prod here with axes and spirit lances, and it looks like that's going to be enough. Send VP packing.
Oh, the PL's courier died before with full Aghanims on it, or well, the completing
Ooh.
part of the Aghanims, I think. So he has 40 seconds until he can have it. Luckily, though, VP didn't force the issue more there. That could have been a really horrible timing for Kami.
Invisibility.
But I was looking at it, the net worth board the same way, and I was like, wait, how did Storm get it when Timber and Pugna
Yeah,
are the
it's
two lowest net
added from
worths?
it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Also confused for a while, but of course, all of them are pretty damn farmed right now. Every single one closing on at around 15k. TB, of course, already breaching it.
Yeah, you expect these shards to go to like bottom 4 heroes, and you're scanning up, scrolling up. Wait, where's this guy? Oh yeah, he's
Pugna
still
is like,
top
where's
3 net
my
worth.
shard?
Yeah. I mean, Pugna shard's pretty good this game, right? Against all the illusions from PL.
But yeah, it's pretty good here. Definitely pretty good.
Oh, Void Spirit. I mean, he's showing how strong he can be when he jumps a target, but had no backup close enough. Cloud couldn't get there with a roar. We'll TP away, along with Happy. And
Real
Hydra booted
punishment
out.
as well.
A bauble from the void.
Pretty long respawn on Roach. I think it was max spawn, 3 minutes or so.
Yeah, that's a long timer. But VP, they're happy to walk around with their gem here on Undying and clear up, make sure that there's no vision. Take the time to establish really hard map control. Whereas side of HYDRA, it's hard to leave their base right now. They do have like PL who can spam his Aghanim's lands, and they have the Helm of the Overlord from Beastmaster, but overall getting out on the map is very difficult for them now. That's what happens when you get picked off like one too many times from the Storm Spirits. You start getting really cautious.
I just paranoia. I can't be letting it happen over and over again. Especially now, yeah. You need this gold for the key items coming up. You can't be wasting buybacks. Beastmaster spends out, closing in on his BKB. Even a smoke now from HYDRA. Trying to pivot up into this top lane where Terrorblade is a little distant from the rest of his squad, but yeah, they'll tighten up.
I didn't smoke the Beast though, so this can't really be a gank. This is more like smoke out and try to get a ward or something, but they quickly think better of it and back out again, so that's kind of just a smoke wasted. As VP are holding this high ground now.
I don't know what Lil is trying to say there, and PL drawing some lines himself. They want that bottom lane shoved as hard as possible. It looked like Lil was drawing the line into the enemy base. Let's go, boys. We can do this.
Yeah, it's like we create space and Warwick, you go take Rack's bottom, you know? Easy. You have Echo Silver and Dessel.
Alright, go take some buildings. Try and even the
Checking
playing
Roche.
field.
Gonna be disappointed that he's not spawned yet. This is really a late Roche.
He's going to be up here, though. They'll know that for sure. 4.5 minutes till daytime. So it's going to be a dire side Roche. And Lil's even scouting it with Arrow. It's FNG in the pit. Not who he was expecting.
King of Roche is up. Finds the lying instead.
And then a Moonlight Shadow to scurry away.
Yeah,
after
all
that
this sitting
first.
in the area, but they're like, he has to be up any moment now. Even TP just sitting here. But this is time at least that Hydra are getting out on the map. They're farming Ancients with Warwick. They're pushing out lanes. They're finding farm on PL. This slow spawn is really helping them.
Yeah, keeping this net worth difference around 20,000.
Not a
Come
good
on, where
place
is
to
he?
be though.
Where's Roche? Come on.
Dire's bottom tower is
They're
under
leaving.
attack.
They're like, never mind, he's never gonna spawn. Let's just run away. This is the awkward moment. TP is starting to leave the area now, but now you waited so long, he's definitely gonna spawn soon. And the illusion dies. Are they gonna scout it? He's spawning right now.
Well, they're going to go in now, right? It's like guaranteed spawn time.
Yeah.
And Sayush. Where's the bash? Come on, Roche.
Slam him.
But yeah, they sent Squadix and Notice down bottom to try and alleviate a little bit of that wave pushing coming in from Warwick.
This gave a good like 2 minutes of recovery time for Hydra though, to actually be on the map, not be scared of a storm. I have to feel that VP, yeah,
Radiant's
controlling
top
Roche
tower
was
is
important,
under attack.
but just sitting there and waiting for so long without knowing that if he's gonna respawn, they allowed Hydra to get on the map. They allowed him to get all this farm and space. So this is maybe a little bit of a window opportunity to get the key items that you need if you Hydra. BKB complete. They have the full Greaves now, I think, on Mirana as well. PL is working on a Skadi.
Silencer nearly has his 4 staff.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
3,000 net worth Silencer. Feeling real good about the past couple of minutes. He's not
Nearly
died
has
in a
one
while.
item.
Yeah, nearly has an item.
I feel sad when I click on Silencer and realize he doesn't have a single point Glaives of Wisdom, so he has 0 permanent int stolen. This is why
Oh,
they're losing Gareth.
I
You
didn't
gotta
even
take the enemy
notice
brain
that.
away.
Yeah. Intellect Devour. I'll take control of them. Oh, smoke there from VP. Under a bore, which Storm was currently
Dire's
hitting.
bottom tower is
They just
under
prep themselves for the high ground push, grab the Wisdom Rune, and get ready to go back into this Radiant base. With Cheese on TB, Aegis on Storm, probably feeling very comfortable and free to dive, even in behind tier 3s and tier 4s, honestly. And Tombstone placed up on the high ground, just allowing the rest of them to focus into the buildings. And Hydra are here with the Moonlight Shadow, and we've seen how much damage Warwick can do when he jumps onto a target. Not sure if they can aim for the Storm, though, as Kami gets dropped to half health. They do get a bit of chip damage on Squadix, but he's healed quickly back up by the life drain. And in the meantime, Terrorblade focused on the buildings.
Yep. Business as usual. Wait, he's
Wait,
hiding.
where's he gone? He's hiding in the Tombstone.
Into the bunker. It's so funny, you can use the bunker on Tombstone, by the way, to get up and down high ground, low ground. That was the first thing I decided to test when I saw this change. So if you drop the Tombstone on a high ground or low ground, you run up to the edge, you can actually like basically StarCraft Medivac drop
Nice.
to change your position. It's useful in some scenarios.
They should make it so if you have a refresher orb on Undying, you, what was it in StarCraft? The Zerg Swarm tunnel portal thing.
Yeah, was it Nidus or something? I can't remember.
Nexus? No, no, you're right. It was Nidus. Yeah.
Nidus Worm or Nidus Hole? Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't remember.
under attack.
Oh, look at the wraparound.
Well, they're coming in. They see the Storm. They find the Beastmaster with the Storm, though, and Cloud, a late BKB. Undying, dropping loads to these PL illusions. They roar up the Terrorblade, but Cloud in trouble now. Sayosh is found, but in jumps Squadix once more to pick off the Beastmaster. Warwick in serious trouble. Cleared out by Kiritich. Notice this Timbersaw running low on mana now, along with a Storm, so probably going to have to fall back. They don't have the resources to continue fighting into this PL. He's burnt all their mana and he chases forward. The Squadix, of course, does still have the Aegis. They haven't been able to claim that from him yet. Not a bad hold there by Hydra.
A good hold. They do use some buybacks. He tanks the arrow. Is this a bait?
I don't know. I mean, Notice is very tanky. Kaya Sands, Lotus Orb, Warwick can't deal with him.
Yeah, I think he wanted to have them just hard commit on him because with that Lotus Orb, he's pretty hard to burst. He had his Aghanims ready as well. Trying to set up for TB and Storm to get a kill, but without Meta, not going to be taking the fight yet. Meta is coming back though, 5 seconds. Time to go down mid lane again, and no buybacks this time.
Yeah, no buybacks, no Roar, no Global. And they've still got Aegis and Cheese on VP. Go for this third lane. I mean, Phantom Lancer showing that he's still definitely a force to be reckoned with. If they can get another good wrap around or just chip away at the Pugna who has to bunker into the tombstone. I like how the tombstone gets wider when there's a hero inside of it.
The tombstone got so thick when he got in there.
The chunky tombstone. Oh, Warwick trying to get on top of the storm. 2 astral steps still yet to play with. We'll jump over the Timber Saw. Has to use the second one to slip away as well. And Timber to get off his Aghanim Scepter reactive armor. And the rest of VP just surrounding the Terrorblade, giving him an easier time to push high ground. And likely going to be losing this Aegis on Storm, but a Lotus Orb there keeps him safe.
PL is showing right now why PL is popular here in the current patch, or maybe not popular, but it played a lot at least. The Aghanim Scepter doing such a good work holding the high ground here. You just spam those lances, you get really strong illusions, and the opponent just cannot really break high ground yet. So the back out meta wasn't enough.
Phantom Lancer struggling to figure out what item he wants next. I saw him queue up a Moonshard, he switched to Heart and Butterfly. It often feels like Heart is like a key, like core item on the PL. You keep yourself and your illusions tanky, but
it can be. I think I would say the Butterfly is really great here because you're against the Terrorblade. Stopping him from being able to kill the illusions entirely is really useful. Heart will help him against the Timbersaw and Storm a little bit, but I think he can go more aggressive. Butterfly will also increase his DPS a lot, not just survivability.
I definitely need more of that. I've seen Storm on the edge a couple of times. If Warwick and Kami can both pair up onto one target, they can shred them quickly.
Yeah, Aegis times out for Storm now, but of course you can use the regen to zip around a little bit extra. Speedy farming. I miss people doing the base-to-base jump with the Storm Aegis reclaim.
It's been a while since we've seen any of that. The multi-mangoes in your inventory as well.
Yeah. The Tormentor is up, but don't see any team really making a move for it yet. Both of them are available.
Who's yet to get Shard on the Dire?
Timbersaw doesn't have his Shard yet, and TB also doesn't have his.
Okay.
And Pugna did buy his Shard, so he got that one.
He's sick of losing the dice rolls. I've got 50-50 twice.
Yeah, the Timber Shard is pretty damn good this game. Against Peel, it's really useful. Meanwhile, on the side of Radiant, would be pretty nice for them to get a Shard overall. They don't have a single one right now. They didn't get the last Tormentor, of course, so it would be Mirana or Silencer. Silencer Shard, pretty useless in this game. Mirana Shard, also not the best. So you can understand why they don't prioritize it here. You get one more leap and you can do some trick shot leaps, you know, but it's not really value.
Ooh, Lil. Double leap away. That's a sneaky move from VP, and the Storm Spirit goes deep under tier 3s. Squad X. Arrows coming. Ooh, dodges it for the Ball Lightning. Now out of mana though, as FNG and Noticed will hold the line and keep Hydra stuck in their base.
TB needs to get towards the buildings, but not easy against this Phantom Lancer who went back for Hyperstone. So it is Moonshard.
Okay. Well, more attack speed, more damage, and Storm Spirit fighting with the Void Spirit. Global Silence there, allowing Warwick to get in and out for now after sniping the Pugna. Undying also dies to the PL in the mid lane. And Kiritich had to BKB up. There's Terrorblade scared of the Phantom Lancer as the Aghanim Scepter, the Timbersaw, roared up, and in comes the Nullifier. The damage, oh, it's shredding through Noticed. Virtus.pro on the doorstep of the Radiant base. They get shoved back. Huge kills for HYDRA.
Yeah, massive. And this is also where we're starting to see the issue of their draft coming into play, because they've played really well so far and they're really far ahead and they're doing fantastic. But there is one thing that we pointed out in the draft, and that is that they don't really have disables. They have only Storm for the jump in disable here. And if you're playing against a PL, when he gets enough items, how are you going to kill him? If you can't silence him, you can't stun him, then what are they really going to do? They do have the Aghanims on Storm to do an AoE pull, but usually that's good if you combo it into another stun. And here, they just don't have that. There's no combo.
Yeah, and another situation where VP kind of spreading their efforts, you know, poking mid lane, diving deep, then trying to spread from mid to bot at the same time, just leaving heroes isolated, giving HYDRA these opportunities to strike back and find weaknesses in that aggressive line of VP. Is this the start of a comeback? You know, what are the chances for HYDRA to take this now?
I think pretty decent. I mean, obviously, these fights that they have been winning have been in their base. It's very different to fighting out on the map when every hero will be exposed and Storm can more easily zip in and grab a target. But I think we're definitely seeing a bit of an issue here. They don't really have a way to control the PL at all. And then it doesn't matter how many items you have on your Terrorblade. That matchup is awful. Terrorblade is not going to be the answer to PL. So I think they need Shard on Timbersaw. They need to start getting some value from other heroes. Like Pugna needs to be kept alive. He's the key to winning. If they can keep Pugna alive, drop the Nether Ward, and then kill the PL illusions with that, then that would give them a base to fight around. But if Pugna gets picked off by Void Spirit, then the fight is terrible. And Void Spirit has Nullifier. So you can't just Glimmer. You can't get out with just a Decrepify. And I don't even remember, but is Pavis dispellable?
Yeah, I think all of these shields, dispellable.
Yeah, all barriers are, right?
Yeah. Because you were saying also yesterday, Timbersaw, or the other day, Timbersaw Aghanim Scepter. So this Nullifier has mega value.
It does, yeah. Timbersaw, I mean, I've seen the Timbersaw Aghanims look extremely good, but the fact that it is dispellable and that they now have Nullifier on Void Spirit makes it nearly useless. If he decides to go on Timbersaw, then it is useless. It's just a matter of, does he prioritize someone else on Void Spirit?
Yeah, and now I'm curious to see what HYDRA can get done. If they win a fight on their doorstep. First time they cross the river in a good 10 minutes. Get a tier 1, clear through some Ancients. What's the next port of call for them? Are they looking for that next Roshan, or
Roche
are they
can
set
spawn?
up?
Yeah, Roche can spawn soon, but I think take Tormentor first, and they're gonna go for that. They have the shard. PL bought it for himself, so at least he has his. I think they want Mirana shard here more than Silencer.
Unlucky.
Yeah. Unlucky.
Radiant are scanning.
Whoa, what'd I miss?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be up in the top. So getting up there, getting some vision could be really nice, especially for Radiant, since they took control of that gem after the last fight. They are of course running around with FND's gem now, but it's actually Dire taking control of the area as side lanes are pushing in. HYDRA have to back out and push the lanes out of it.
Yeah, it's awkward, right? Both of your side lanes losing those barracks.
Oh, there's a full Lotus pool waiting down bottom. That's one greater Lotus. Mirana has her eyes on it.
Oh yeah, go get it. Stole still has a cheese.
I think right now HYDRA are happy to give away Roche, because even if they have Roche, how are they going to push high ground? We've seen it so many times. They attempt to push, like you said. They still have cheese and Storm. They haven't been able to break the high ground yet, so HYDRA can just keep delaying, keep defending, and take this game even more late.
How many of these do you need for the block of cheese? You need 3 greater?
Yeah, 3 greater, so you need 27.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's a lot. Block of cheese is terrible, sadly. It's just not worth it.
What is it again? You get permanent shield?
You get a 500 barrier that regenerates as long as you're not taking hero-based damage. So you can tank towers with it, and it's really good for generating your, HP while farming stacks or whatever. But by the time you can get it, it's not really relevant.
Well, 25 seconds to Roche. The VP going to take this opportunity to smoke up and scan in front of them. Oh, it turns red, they know. There's HYDRA heroes nearby. Moonlight Shadow is ready with 3 leaps from Lil. Happy has a 4 staff, and notice just goes in, pops the dust, doesn't see anybody coming. They can shift back towards the pit to scout it out. Again, another window where HYDRA farming.
HYDRA farming, they're trying to work on a BKB for Void Spirit, still has quite a way to go on that one. I think they are going to have to sacrifice the Roshan here as it's spawned up, and it's going to be a Refresher Shard Roche. That could be massive. If Storm takes Refresher Shard and they have double Electric Vortex, that could be enough time for them to maybe kill the PL or get a really good fight under that double disable. I mean, that's doubling the amount of stuns they have, Gareth.
Yeah, it is. Especially if TB can finish off those Mjolnir he's got queued up. Even more ways to contend with the PL and his illusions. Yeah, you were right. No contest from HYDRA. Roshan just going to be freely given to VP. And TB changes his mind. No Mjolnir. Sad times.
Yeah, I don't know. Mjolnir's not really... Oh, he is going for it still. He has it coming. He's just queuing up more items.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Mjolnir is great for clearing out the PL illusions, and they need something versus PL. This is not a great item for TB himself, but it's the best that you can get here.
Yeah, nobody else is going to be going Radiance, Mjolnir, Battle Fury, anything like that. Let's try and get something to deal with it.
Got rid of his power treads by now, so no boots strat on TB.
What does Demon Zeal give you? A 65 movement speed?
Yeah, it's a lot. He doesn't have lifesteal though, so it's a little bit tricky.
God, do you remember when Agi and Butterfly Active used to give you all this movement speed? We had that movement speed patch for a while.
I mean, now we have magic resistance on Int, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get stuff again? It feels weird that we have magic resistance on Int, but nothing on Agi and Strength in the same way.
Yeah, give us more cool buffs, please.
I mean, I guess you're getting armor from Agi, you could say, if you're being like nitpicky, but that's old. What about some new stuff? Honestly, it was terrible. The status resistance from Strength was awful. That was the worst one.
I mean, awful in the case of it was too good.
yeah, it was exactly. The patch was awful to play. You just couldn't know how long someone's gonna stay stunned if you threw a stun at him.
I mean, that's the patch I stopped playing Invoker. My favorite hero, I just gave up. Like, oh, this hero is in the sky in Tornado for 2 seconds. This guy for 1.8. I can't land any combos.
Right. They did hard fix that now, so now use is always the same duration. At least it ignores the status resistance. And then they removed the status resistance as well. From Strength, that is.
And TB with a DD. Close to 600 damage a hit.
He still doesn't really want to go. I'm surprised because this timing would be massive to try and go in with Meta and DD Rune, but that just speaks to how scared they are of taking this fight.
Yeah, but Aegis, double cheese.
Doesn't mean anything.
I'm respecting HYDRA. And now high ground defense. I like the position they're in as well. Kami and Warwick up near this Ancient's high ground, waiting to see if they can wrap around into that mid lane. Now realizing VP are coming to invade. Warwick is going to get jumped. They get the catch on the Void Spirit. Gets out with his Assimilate BKB. All thanks to the Ascetics cap. So VP don't get the snipe they wanted. And now it's HYDRA's turn with the Moonlight Shadow to try and set up. But playing into the darkness, always a spooky prospect.
Oh, they gotta go. Since they used Meta, they want to try and get something. But we've seen this push before. Can they do it this time?
Yeah, it's time to break the tier 3. Glyph used up by the Radiant, and Tombstone immediately dispatched with by the Phantom Lancer. Kiritich, and he's got his eyes on the prize. Straight towards the buildings. Aegis for another 2 minutes, so not too worried about losing 1 life. Just to try and secure things here, but of course wants to utilize this metamorphosis for as long as possible, as Cloud has walked in with his BKB. Will take down the Terrorblade, roaring up the storm, the jump in from Warwick, claiming the life of Squadix. Now Terrorblade going to respawn in the middle of all these peel illusions. I can't see a damn thing. Cloud gets turned on. Kiritich with his BKB and Demon Zeal. Does he go for buildings? Does he go for kills? A storm brought back and zips in deep. 2-man Vortex, PL caught. They're going to take him down and Kami's dead. Has to buy back to try and defend his base as Warwick fighting 1 versus 4 almost. Catching onto this Timber Saw. Megas are there now, so VP scrambling to retreat. They've got nothing left to play for in this mid lane.
Oh, they're going back in though.
Squadix? He's happy. That's a simple kill. Spends the majority of his mana pool though, and this is a dieback from Storm if he falls, but his BKB will keep him safe. For now. The PL illusions are coming though and kills him off. He's dead for 100 seconds. HYDRA breaking out of their base. The blinders are off and they're running forward. 2 kills for them. A dieback on Storm, but they've got to defend the rest of their buildings.
They have to defend, but this could be a timing window to actually go for like a YOLO down mid. And this lag, dude, every single team fight. The doppelgangers and the reflections are just breaking the game right now. That fight looked like it was going to go well there for HYDRA when they started out, getting a nice initiation with an arrow onto TB, bringing him low, then the roar on Storm, getting the kill there, but the buyback was big. Storm coming in and finding that grab on PL was absolutely massive. PL now, he's selling items. He's going for an Orchid. Interesting. Sending out salves as well to try and stay healthy.
I guess that Bloodthorn is going to be pretty valuable against all these heroes, Timber, TB, and the Storm.
Yeah, it's a good item for sure. And once the BKB is down on Storm, it's a good way to try and catch him as well. But they are against Megas now. Game is not getting easier for them.
Did they spend everything on VP? Double Cheese and Aegis, right?
Yeah,
All of that for the...
Yeah, they used everything.
All of that for the high ground push. Beastmaster with a Bloodstone now. You're a big fan?
He's trying to heal up by going in. He still has 2 low armor, though, is the issue. He's going for Shivas next, but at 15 armor, he still gets melted by TB. So if he tries to go in and rely on the TB illusions to lifesteal, those same illusions will just kill him instead.
Yeah, but just judging by the way the last fight started off, what can he do but press BKB and run into the middle of them when the game lags, when all these illusions are on the screen?
Honestly,
just attack
yeah.
move.
Make a move under the lag. That's the, the best cover you can have.
Hands off keyboard moment.
Ooh,
Well,
Undyne could be
FNG
in trouble.
Ooh. They must have spotted him. Yeah, they ping him out now. Straight on top of him. FNG down for a minute. No buyback whatsoever, so another chance here, but you look at the Radiant base and you realize, hang on, there's mega creeps trying to flow in towards this throne area.
They don't have travels as well. They need travels on Void Spirit or on Beastmaster perhaps. Like, they need to be able to push out side lanes and then go down lane. When you're against mega creeps, it becomes extra important that someone has this.
And for now, Kami's job to clear up the mess. And Cloud, yeah, just farming himself towards a plate mail. Not going to be able to get it before VP flows you back into this Radiant base. And HYDRA really showing some serious resilience in this game. Oh, I was ready to write them off 20 minutes in.
I thought
Now
so too, but
45.
the high ground defense, I mean, all of it comes back to the PL Aghanims. He was able to just non-stop spam, and they didn't really have a great solution to it. And they did a good job also targeting, like Warwick knew his priority, he went for the Pugna always, which was the key target. VP in a great spot though. Not gonna get an exciting rune. It's an Invis rune. He'll take it on the TB.
Yeah, he's definitely made the game more interesting, like trying to keep track of what runes have spawned, and you have the cycle of runes with no duplicates until we get through them all again. I know it's I've been watching a bunch of the C broadcasts. It's Winter's favorite game. Try and guess what rune comes next. VP back down to bottom. TB illusions, yeah, making sure that mid and top are both pressed. High ground vision gonna get immediately taken out. So FNG not able to keep any vision in that Radiant base. Is there a next defining item for VP here to close things out?
I mean, they're going for Mjolnir on Storm, so they want even more AoE damage. I would almost have liked to see a refresher on him, even more so. I don't think there's a key item. I think they just gotta go.
Warwick, off the back of that arrow, tries it. And Storm's Vortex only catches the Thunderhide. Now we're dealing with a PL with Heart. Arrow. Looked like it might have touched the TB there, but he's fine for now. And HYDRA just trying to keep VP at bay. Stay out of our base. Please don't walk up the staircase.
Yeah, this is a good spot to hold them. Fight in the choke point.
Man,
landed
Warwick
arrow.
again
The fight-
onto the Storm. Squad X global, but the BKB's up. He still dies. These astral steps from Warwick as he TP's out of there. Kami moves back in to try and fight the TB. Mano a mano with the help of the Roar. The Lotus Orb comes a little bit too late, but the Terrorblade healed back up. Stays at half health, turns on the Cloud and looks to kill off the Beastmaster while Kami aims the Tombstone and the Undying. Kiritich, reasonably safe, gonna sunder back your PL illusion. And Kami, in fighting shape, continues to run back towards FNG. VP with no Storm. HYDRA buy back the Beastmaster. Needs to defend against the Megas in the mid and the top lane. And Kami trying to chase out a little bit here.
Kami has to be careful. They cannot win the fight if they don't kill Pugna. It's extremely important that Pugna is the target. They get the Storm, it's a huge kill, but even so, they can't go in with the PL there because Pugna and his ward, he has that shard. He just protects, and you can see how Beastmaster hard committed there, trying to go in, kill the TB, but he just gets left alone. PL doesn't want to go with him because he knows it doesn't.
Kind of jumping in and just ditching, bailing with that BKB TP.
He used all his mobility, so he just decided to get out of that situation. Roshan, number 4.
And here we go into the pit. Now HYDRA.
Are scanned.
Dire scan. Ooh. Warwick was close to clipping it. Don't think it turned red. And VP still going to have a solid idea, though, with a Hawk over the top of them, that something's going on, and Storm zips in. Two-man Vortex, PL grabbed up. In moves TB with the Metamorphosis, and Cloud getting shredded. Global Silence gives a bit of cover here to maybe allow this PL to turn and fight. But Kami is running. Doesn't want to stick around. Squadix out of mana, being burnt down by the PL illusions, but look at Kiritich open up on him. PL dead for 2 minutes now, and Roshan belongs to VP, and honestly, probably just the game at this point.
Yeah, he doesn't have buyback, and there's no way he can get it either. It's not like they can take a bounty rune or something. He will get the cooldown back, but he's missing 1100 gold on PL. I don't think that they can defend without him here, and Cloud also going down. I think finally VP have done it. They got a great initiation there with Storm. He may have gone down in that fight, but the 4-man pull that he landed was absolutely beautiful, and they got some nice kills because of it.
I mean, HYDRA really making VP sweat. Every inch on the map contested. Every fight. An absolute nail-biter. It looks like 50 minutes in. Virtus.pro on the verge. A Storm could even potentially buy back just to close this one out if they want to, but Throne is exposed. TB's there, whacking away at buildings. Aegis on Kiritich. And a global from HYDRA as they try and backstab on the Pugna. Like you said, the only attempt they have is to try and kill off Seosh, but they realize this is all done. GG's called out, and game 1 goes the way of VP.
Yeah, and I want to say insanely one-sided, but they did fail to crack high ground, even though they had a ton of gold lead. I feel like I did see some, you know, maybe weakness there in their drafts. They didn't have those stunts. They didn't have a way to deal with PL. Ultimately, though, they do bring back the game at the very end of the day here, but it took them a lot longer than I expected, given the fact that TB was massive minute 10. If you look at the minute 10 net worths for this game, TB 6.7k at minute 10, that's wild, and 2.9 on PL. And same thing, they were also way ahead on the offlane. They were 2,500 gold ahead on the Timbersaw versus Beast, and even on mid lane, they were 1,100 gold ahead. So they literally were like doubling the net worth pretty much on the course in total, and still didn't close out the game until very late.
So as HYDRA, what are you telling yourselves? Like, obviously, congrats to VP in that game on victory, but as HYDRA, are you thinking Pugna Undying lane supports was what gave VP this chance? Or if our lanes went 10% better, we've got a 90% chance to actually win that game?
Yeah, they have to think a bit more about the matchups that they have and try to come up with lanes that are going to work out better for them. The Timbersaw was very, very effective in this game. I think that was a big thing. But also that Mirana Beastmaster lane started out well, but Undying, he just clapped his hands and they lost the lane sort of, over time. They didn't get any CS on Beastmaster, even though they did a good job trying to do damage. And they have to go back to laning stage for sure, HYDRA, because the rest of the game, they played it well, but just with so minimal resources.
Well, back to the laning stage they go. Game 2 coming up around this corner. We'll see how things move forward as VP take game 1 here. We'll see you in a bit.